Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, we got some big news, some big teasers, right? We do have something here before, but from the other day, but we will get into that a little bit later. I want to focus on this right now because today is the deadline. Okay, I'm sorry, my voice is a little messed up because I'm still sick. Listen, major update coming soon on Zebec Network's compliance for ISO 20022 implementation across our domestic and cross-border flows. Okay, we can see right away it's been a couple hours. It's been roughly 4 hours. We can see 171,000 views, 1.2K likes. And this is just a little teaser, right? This is just a, you know, a potential announcement coming on, or sorry, about this very, very soon. You can see there's a lot of hype, there's a lot of anticipation. People are looking, they're waiting, right? Very, very patiently. And they're looking to see, okay, what is going to happen with our beloved Zebec, right? Will we be on the list or will we not? Are we going to be in the inner circle or are we not going to be in the inner circle? Is the ultimate question. We can see a lot of people are hyped up, right? A lot of people are hyped up in the comments. Um, and yeah, people have been saying that, there's some drama related to this and some other coins that they're never going to be officially, ISO compliant and etc. But that's all been debunked from what I've seen. And, people just say stuff just to say stuff, which is just, I don't know. I don't know what goes through these people's minds sometimes. But yeah, listen, right? Huge, huge, huge teasers, right? Huge teasers. And look, they did say we have something major coming up this week, right? And once again, they used the word major here. Now, a couple of days ago, we had this, okay? Now, this was very, very nice. This was very, very huge. This, in fact, was indeed major, okay? But, right, here's the thing, right? Is this the ultimate big announcement that we were expecting this week? Considering that we know ISO was also going to happen this week, right? And for me, I don't think this was the major announcement because a couple of days ago, right, they were hinting that, next week, which is this week, there's going to be some major things happening, right? Big announcement, major US payments integration coming next week, right? So this just screams ISO, 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 in my personal opinion. Okay. Now, when we go up, once again, look, in this post, they didn't use the word major. Now, I know this might be like I'm pulling for straws here, but I really know how social media works. I've been on social media for many, many years, maybe not on the crypto side, but, as a kid and teenager and, as a young adult, I've seen how people do announcements and teasers, whether it's for sports, whether it's for video games, whether it's for like literally anything, right? They use always certain key words. They drop little hints here and there. And we can see once again, they use the word major here. Major update coming soon on the Zebec network's compliance for ISO. Okay, so I truly do believe, you know, we are just getting, we're just getting teased one final time, but I do believe we will be compliant. I'm not sure when we're going to find out. Today might be a double news video for all I know. We might have even 3 Zebec videos for all I know, because there's just going to be so much to unpack in just a matter. Like, once this thing comes out, there's going to be so much to unpack. Plus, we still got to cover the technical analysis. I'll give you a little hint, but we can see, right? Boom, price has instantly been reflecting to the upside. We swept these areas over here that we've been talking about for some time, and etc. Right? So if you spot in a little bit lower, you already would have been up, nice 37% upwards, even at one point up 47%. And we can see, right? Look, man, the timing is just funny. That's all I'm going to say, right? The timing is funny. We sweep these key critical areas down here, and then now we have ISO coming out today, and we can see price already reflecting it. Just a teaser. There's nothing confirmed, right? We can see, right? It's a very nice green day, plus 32%, right? Plus 32%. Decent volume as well. So I'm telling you, once this gets confirmed, I believe this is going to be the green light for investors. Yes, of course, something like Bitcoin is still going to, you know, reflect Zbec's price a little bit, as there's not really too many anomalies. The only big anomaly in recent times I remember is ICP and Zcash, right? This thing has pumped up to 10 billion market cap during a time where things have been mainly looking kind of sideways, mainly have been selling off. So look, there's always, it's always a possibility that there will be an anomaly pump for something like Zebec. But we really, really, really need to see how this deadline and everything is going to play out. And I do believe it's going to be happening, okay? Because they keep using this keyword major. Now listen, we will look at this as well, right? 2 years ago, companies didn't know what a stable coin was. They just heard crypto and assumed volatility. We focused on education, showing how real-time payroll appeals to younger workers, and on solving the working capital challenge through partners like payroll. So let's see this, right? Let's listen to this. Let's reflect on a little bit, and that's going to be the end of this video. Like I said, there might be a double news video today. There might be even 3 Zebec videos for all I know. And we still have to do the other part 2 for the AI. I mean, there's so much happening. There is so much happening.
Too early in terms of stablecoin maturation, regulatory clarity, and so on. That was making them say no. And how much was it just the concept of this is a new paradigm, quicker payment cycles, we don't understand it?
I think very early on, the biggest point of friction was the lack of understanding as to what crypto was. When you told people that you're paying them in crypto, the assumption was that they were volatile assets like Bitcoin or Ethereum. There wasn't really much of an understanding even what a stable coin was a couple years ago. So that was really the first point of education for us. And then the second point is, well, why do we need to do this, right? What is the selling point? And I think back then, really the selling point was, well, if you want to attract employees and keep your employees happy and particularly appeal to a younger workforce, having this as part of your HR tools isn't an added benefit. You know, let's say McDonald's had this, but Burger King didn't. Would you rather go work at McDonald's or Burger King, right? And then it's the same idea with the earned wage access industry, which has done really, really well actually in the fast food sector. And it's part of the market that Zebec is actually actively disrupting. But to go to your second point about what we would call the working capital component of funding payroll, yes, this is absolutely a consideration, because with real-time payments, you need to also have real-time funding. And in a higher interest rate environment like we've had over the past 2 years, this is a material line item, both for the revenue of the company as well as the revenue of a payroll company. So at Zebec, we were able to address this pain point through a partnership with a really interesting company out of New York called Payroll. So that's an example of us partnering with a more traditional Web 2 lending business to enable Web 3 payroll.
So we can see our boy Simon always cooks with the explanations, with the education, and man, oh man. I mean, like, look, crypto has really evolved over the last, few years, like really, really, really start to scale up quicker and quicker. I personally think, based off the technical analysis, I think institutions have been in this for years now. I truly do believe so. Everything's just been more on the low, and now everything is officially coming out. But yeah, we can see, the technology and the usage and everything, how crypto is taken more seriously nowadays, is just ramping up quicker and quicker. And once price reflects that, once adoption starts reflecting that, everyone's going to bandwagon. That's just a whole thing, right? We can see in life, there's previous ideologies, big events that have happened over the last several years where, everyone just bandwagons onto something, and then they're like, oh, wait, no, this wasn't like this actually. And like, there's just a lot of mindset shifts. If you're on social media and just anything, like, you'll see a lot of mindset shifts over the last couple of years, and things are just changing so rapidly. And the same thing's going to happen with crypto. Next thing, one time they're clowning on crypto, one time they're like, oh, wait, this might be serious. And next thing a few short years from now, everyone's like, oh yeah, crypto guys. Everyone's going to come in and everyone's going to act like a crypto expert. Like, they know everything about crypto, even though we're the ones that have been here for, 5, 7, 8, 10 years. It's okay. If you're new, you're still decently early, to be honest, right? The big wave isn't still here, but that's just how it works. So we can see more and more adoption. And yeah, this is the main thing we are focusing on today. I'm super, super excited. I really want to see if something, comes out. We have 1 minute until 1 o'clock. So we will actually stall this out just for like the next couple of seconds to see if they post anything at 1 o'clock. And if they don't, then we will be, wrapping up the video. And while that happens, we might as well look at this. We can see we're ranked 135 out of 9,145 active cryptos, 286 million volume, almost 29 million volume in the last 24 hours. Over the last month, we're down 16%. Over the last week, we're down 2.26%. And in the last 24 hours, we're up over 30%. Your boy bought yesterday. He bought. He called it out also in the community. He bought. Oh, this feels so good to be buying these sniper entries and buying a big bag of them. I'm telling you, seeing your portfolio up, I'm not saying I'm personally up 30% right away, but seeing it up like 20 something plus percent, oh, it's just such a good feeling, especially just in a day. We haven't seen some green in some time. And look, we got some positive news and the bandwagon already happens, right? This is live holders. So we can see we're already up almost 200 holders in a single day just because of the news, pure, and because of the green, right? Because of the green and because of the news, pure bandwagon. I'm telling you, this thing is going to grow thousands in holders during the peak of altcoin season. Everything, it's going to be thousands of holders every single day. There's going to be so much liquidity and money coming into this market. So I'm telling you guys are not prepared. This is going to be super, super exciting times. But that is ultimately it, though, ladies and gentlemen. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.